This is Siena, Italy. Tucked into the heart of Tuscany, this medieval hill town invites you to slow down, wander, and soak in centuries of history. From its fan-shaped main square to quiet neighborhood streets, Siena rewards travelers who explore at a human pace. Let's take a look. We're standing in the heart of Siena at the remarkable Piazza del Campo, one of Europe's most beautifully designed town squares. Instead of a rigid rectangle, this space opens like a gentle fan, sloping inward and naturally drawing people together. It's civic design with a human touch. Surrounding us are Siena's proud medieval buildings, anchored by the Palazzo Pubblico and its elegant Torre del Mangia, reminding us that this square has always been about community and shared identity. Locals sun themselves on the brick pavement, students gather on the slope, and visitors, like us, can't help but linger. But twice each summer, this peaceful gathering place transforms. On July 2nd and August 16th, the Campo becomes the racetrack for the legendary Palio di Siena, a bareback horse race fueled by neighborhood pride, centuries-old rivalries, and intense local passion. For a few thrilling minutes, Siena's history doesn't just surround you, it comes thundering past. Overlooking Siena's main square is the graceful Torre del Mangia. Built in the 1300s, it was meant to symbolize civic pride. Climb to the top and you're rewarded with one of Tuscany's best views. One of Siena's most beloved sweet traditions comes from a small, no-frills spot called Frittelle Savelli. These are frittelle di riso, rice fritters gently fried, lightly sweetened, and finished with a dusting of sugar. They're simple, comforting, and deeply local. Traditionally made during carnival season, Savelli has turned them into a year-round obsession for locals who happily queue up for a warm batch. Traveler tip, come earlier in the day because when they sell out, that's it. And don't expect a cafe experience. This is a grab-and-go operation best enjoyed while strolling Siena's streets. They're inexpensive, satisfying, and dangerously easy to order. Just one more. Let's take a look at the menu and current prices so you know exactly what to expect. Just steps from the Campo is Piazza Salimbeni, one of Siena's most dramatic little squares. Pause here for photos. Late afternoon light brings the details to life. It's also home to Banca Monte dei Paschi di Siena. Look up. The carved stone faces lining the palaces seem to stare back, a classic medieval touch. San Cristotoro is a small medieval church tucked into Siena's backstreets. It's simple and easy to miss, but stepping inside offers a quiet break from the crowds just minutes from the Campo. One of the best ways to experience Siena is simply by walking its backstreets. Away from the main sights, narrow lanes twist past stone houses, small churches, and everyday neighborhood life. Siena is compact but surprisingly hilly, so comfortable shoes make a big difference. And getting a little lost is part of the fun. Shops often close in the afternoon, streets grow quieter, and the city feels more local. Wander without a plan, follow your curiosity, and Siena tends to reward you. As you walk through Siena, you'll notice colorful flags, shields, and symbols hanging from buildings, carved into stone or painted above doorways. These mark the city's historic neighborhoods, known as the Contrada di Siena. There are 17 in total, each with its own animal symbol, colors, church, and deeply rooted sense of identity. These symbols aren't decorative, they represent lifelong belonging. And many Sienese are born into their Contrada, and that loyalty often shapes friendships, social circles, and even marriages. Some rivalries are so old that certain Contrade traditionally avoid close relationships with one another, while others form lasting alliances that carry on for generations. You'll notice how quickly the flags and fountains change as you cross invisible neighborhood borders. Those boundaries matter most during the Palio di Siena, when 10 Contrade compete in a bareback horse race around Piazza del Campo. For a few intense minutes, centuries of pride, rivalry, and local loyalty come racing to the surface. Even on quiet days, these symbols remind you that Siena isn't just a medieval city. It's a living collection of neighborhoods where history still shapes everyday life. As we turn the corner, the Cathedral of Santa Maria Assunta comes into view, and it stops you in your tracks. Striped in dramatic black and white marble, Siena's cathedral feels more like a work of sculpture than a building. It's richly decorated, unapologetically bold, and meant to impress. Take a moment out here first. The facade rewards a slow look. Then step inside when it's quieter to really appreciate the details without the crowds. Stepping inside the Cathedral of Santa Maria Assunta, the effect is immediate. Striped marble columns pull your eyes upward, while the richly patterned floor tells stories beneath your feet. Light filters softly through stained glass, and nearly every surface feels intentionally adorned. It's worth slowing your pace here. Let your eyes adjust, take it all in, and notice how the space feels grand without being overwhelming. Tucked inside the cathedral is one of Siena's most surprising spaces, the Piccolomini Library. Stepping in feels less like entering a library and more like walking into a Renaissance jewel box. Every wall is covered in brilliantly colored frescoes, telling the life story of Pope Pius II with vivid detail and unmistakable confidence. The ceiling alone deserves a slow look. It's richly patterned and easy to miss if you rush. Along the center of the room, glass cases display illuminated choir books, their hand-painted pages filled with gold, color, and intricate detail, created as much to inspire awe as to be read. Most visitors glance and move on, but pausing here reveals just how luxurious these books truly are. This space isn't large, but it's visually overwhelming in the best way. Give yourself time, let the crowd ebb and flow, and the room slowly reveals its layers. At the heart of the Cathedral of Santa Maria Assunta is the richly detailed altar, a focal point designed to draw the eye and quiet the room. Marble, sculpture, and gold work together here to create a sense of ceremony and balance, reminding visitors that this space was meant for worship first, spectacle second. Look up and you'll notice the cathedral's grand pipe organs, positioned high above the nave. Their placement allows music to fill the space evenly, turning sound into part of the architecture itself. Standing here, it's worth pausing for a moment. This is one of the few places where Siena feels both intimate and monumental at the same time. Rising beside the cathedral is its bell tower, striped in Siena's signature black and white marble. Unlike some towers in Italy, this one isn't open to climb, so it's best appreciated from below. Step back a little, the distance lets the details sharpen and the Duomo settle into the skyline. This quiet spot is Piazza Jacopo della Quercia, part of Siena's unfinished cathedral expansion, a reminder of how even grand ambitions can stop mid-story. Thanks so much for walking through Siena with us. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. It really helps the channel and lets us keep sharing more places like this. And if you're dreaming about a trip to Italy, we'd love to help you plan something that fits your style and pace. Be sure to check out our other videos on Italy and destinations across Europe, and we'll see you in the next adventure.